DNA. What up, baby?
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Where are we right now? You said come grab some tacos with me, but where the hell are we?
We are on the side of the road. We're in this place is called Mariscos Jalisco.
Okay.
It's amazing. There's a million taco places down here.
Yes.
This is like, I mean, this is why LA is so great, you know? It's like you could be at a Michelin star restaurant or you could be having food better than a Michelin star restaurant.
From a truck.
In a truck. It's very important. There's only one taco on the menu.
One taco on the menu.
So you have to get it. You like shrimp?
I like shrimp.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
We're getting 6 of those, for sure.
Done.
And then, okay, do you like spicy?
I'm nervous.
I'll eat the spicy.
Okay. Which one you gonna?
Aguachile.
You gonna aguachile?
Yeah,
Okay.
so good. What, you
Okay.
can't do spicy?
Yeah, I can do spicy, but you know, you gotta just pace yourself. Now you know what? Now that's how you know it's good.
See, look at this.
Okay,
What?
here we
Are
go.
you kidding me? Look at that. Look at that.
All right, let's get it.
Oh my God.
They just keep coming out.
Yeah.
Who are you feeding? What is it?
I'm feeding you.
Okay.
I'm feeding you. Get in there.
All right, let's do it.
That's delicious.
That's actually delicious.
Of course. I mean, best thing you ever had.
When does this happen for you? When do you go on your food tours?
It's the most important thing in the world to me.
Food.
Like, if I have a bad meal, I'm depressed.
Is that right?
Yeah, I want to wait. You can't waste a meal.
Who do you think you got this love of food from? Where did you first experience, like, was it growing up?
I actually grew up in Virginia.
Okay.
And where we lived was like, it was like very culturally diverse. So we were eating like so many different types of food and I was getting exposed to like such interesting cuisines like as like a young kid. So,
Yeah.
and my mom also is a very adventurous eater. So like, I was born liking spicy food. Like my mom was eating all sorts of spicy.
It's very clear.
You know, my first love is when I was like 13 years old,
Right?
one of my friends got a George Foreman grill. Okay?
Oh, it changes everything.
Changed my life, okay?
It literally changes. There was life before the George Foreman.
Of course.
And life after.
It's incredible. We would sit there, we'd all get stoned. We'd try to make the most elaborate sandwiches in the world. And I would sit there and I'd look at my friends and I'd be like, come on. And like, I'd feed it to them and you're just waiting for your friend to go, and then once your friend does it, you're like, oh, I'm in. And that's what, for me, it's like music and food are so similar.
Interesting.
Because we're all just looking, we want someone to do the face. That's
Right.
all we want.
Right.
We want to listen to do something and be like, Or it's like, you know, you watch a movie. You want someone to watch one of your interviews and be like,
face,
oh, okay,
yes.
that's great.
On the search for the face.
We're all on the search for the face in every facet of our life.
That's so true, actually.
Yeah.
Like in more ways than one.
In more ways than one.
It's the face we're all in search of. I feel like you get to know you immediately from the
Yeah.
cover of this book. Talk to me about what went into why you decided right now was something you needed to do.
Basically what happened was I throw these dinner parties. Okay?
Epic
I've
dinner
been throwing
parties.
dinner parties for a long time, and they're funny. They're so out of character. You know, it's like my mom will walk in with a shirt and rhinestones that says like "Bada Bing" on it or something, and then you're sitting next to another my friend who's like a child pianist who's like 12 years old, and then my friend who makes movies that's like 70 is sitting there, and then my friend who's an artist, and then
The most eclectic group of people.
yes, and then my friend who works at Capital One that's been my friend since we were
At the bank?
6 years old, yeah.
Yes.
And then SZA's sitting there singing in the corner, you know, and it's just like all my friends they're my friends because I love them, and I love bringing different people together.
Dope people together.
That may not be.
Otherwise, how would these people
How
interact?
would these people get together? And food is the best lubricant in the world for any conversation. And then for me, it's like, I enjoy, like, I love being in service. Like, I love, like, if I found out, I'm like, okay, you don't love, like, super spicy. So, like, next time you come, I'll make sure, like, I make the same dish, but just for you, you'll have one that doesn't have any spice on it. And then, like, and I always try to remember that. And then it's like, what music do we play? Okay. And then it's like, are we drinking wine? Are we smoking weed? Does we give that person anxiety? Who
Right.
knows? And then it's like, oh, it's midnight. We've been here for a long time. How do I kick my friends out without making them hate me the next day? And then I tell you everything in the book.
Right.
And it's just like how to throw the perfect dinner party. I would have never gone and been like,
I want to do a
I
cookbook.
want a cookbook deal. But it's always something I wanted to do that I was a little scared to like do. So I was having
Is that right?
Yeah, and then when it actually happened, I was like, wow, this is, I don't know, it's still like a pinch me moment. Now add a little generous amount of banana. Now add a layer of the pudding. All right, now we're gonna do another layer.
All right, homemade whipped cream. If you use store-bought, you're an asshole.
First time SZA ever came over to my house, she wanted a glass of water or something. So she went to my fridge and there was like a banana pudding in my fridge that was like half eaten. It was like from the day before. And she goes, what's that? And then I was like, oh, it's banana pudding. And she's like, oh, can I have a little bite? And then she went to take a bite, and then throughout the day, she finished the entire tray of banana pudding. And then every time that I worked with her, demanded that it was there.
Yes.
And then one time she tried like lasagna and she was like, oh, this too. So then like by the time we were like finishing the album, there was like a plate, and somehow she would balance it all while writing a song, while like doing a photo shoot, while doing, but for real.
And the whole time you're like, what is my life? This is incredible.
But that's how food brings people together, for real.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a date or whether it's like friends, and it's like, for me, for music, it's one of my, it's like my secret weapon. I'm not even good at making music. I'm just like, hey, do you guys want some chicken fingers? I made some.
Get out of here.
You know, 'cause it's like, no.
I'm not even good at making you. Get the hell out of here.
It's so disarming. You know, it's like everyone's gonna at least take a beat and hear each other out over some food.
True.
Tonight, we're gonna attempt a French omelet with some caviar.
I know that Brooklyn Beckham has been a good friend to you for some time.
Yes.
Was also a very good chef.
He's so
like
good.
Studying to be real, like hardcore chef.
No, it's crazy.
It's incredible.
Our first time like really hanging out was a double date, actually.
Okay.
So it was like him and his wife and me and Selena, and we all did it at my house, and he came
so nervous.
so prepared.
No,
he's like, this guy is like, he had like already in a pot, he had like special like napkins over it, keeping it so it didn't steam. He had like his wine and like a backpack with like a thing. Like, he's so
well prepared.
And he's an amazing cook.
So who is better? You ever had a cook-off? Like
don't-
we would make the same thing.
No, we always make like a different thing. It's like, okay, you take that pasta, I'll do this pasta. But
That's how you stay friends.
Yeah, that's how we stay friends.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, if I make something really good, I know he likes it because he'll text me after. He'll be like, hey,
what'd you
will
put on
send
there?
me that recipe? Yeah, so that's when I know, like, because he'll be like, man, this burger's great. And then like after, he's like, hey, I was just wondering, like, where'd you get that meat by the chicken?
Right.
And then he's like writing it down.
He's like collecting it. Yeah. I love that. That's great.
Somebody lay me down, pour buttermilk all over me, dust me in a light dusting of cornflakes.
You on Dave was one of the highlights of my life. Like you just brought such a blast of a different energy for the show. Do you remember being approached for it? Do you remember how that came to be? What was the scenario?
Dave's my best friend in real life.
Yeah.
All the stuff, honestly, the show is like a little bit really true. Like, so.
I thought you'd be like, it's a really off. You're like, no,
it's a little bit positively true. At first, he was trying to get someone to play me.
Okay.
And then he was just like, no one's good enough. Will you come in for a screen test? I was like, what's a screen test? I go in, I do it. He's like, you're on the show. I was like, what? Okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Now it's so funny. I remember I was like out one night at something, and John Hamm came up to me.
You're
he's
kidding.
like, you're an incredible actor, man. What are you in next? And I was like, in next? I was like, what? I've never acted before in my life.
The studio?
Yeah, I was like, I've never acted before in my life. Like, I don't think people know that it's like basically myself. So I think they think I'm like putting on and being this great actor.
You're like, be clear, there were no lines for me.
No,
I just showed up in improv.
Yes, I would be the worst actor in the world. Like, imagine me playing like an 1800s like war villain. I don't know how to do anything.
Insert the graphic where
No,
we create this right now.
Take it away. Take it away.
I want to ask you about Teenage Dream in particular. There are many people who say it is a perfect pop song. Did it always happen that way? Did you, when you were listening to it in the studio before you put it out, did you both know? Like, how did this song happen?
We took 7 days to write the lyrics.
Seriously?
Rewrote it 7 times.
Rewrote it 7 times. Same music.
Same music.
Same melody.
Same melody. 7 times. So we knew we were onto something.
Right.
It actually started because I had recently stopped flying right when that happened. So I drove
What do you mean you recently stopped flying? Like as a personal choice or?
Yeah, I barely fly now. I take a boat when I go to Europe. I take a boat. I'm literally Titanic. What? I'm Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's like some Dionne Warwick type stuff. Like that's.
I take a boat. It takes, once you get to New York, it takes 7.5 days. It's literally the Titanic. It's the same route. When you're driving, they're like, there's where the Titanic's
Oh
at.
no, I don't want to know
like
that.
4 days in.
What?
Yeah, like 4 days in. Like you've been on the boat for 4 days and they're like, that's where it happened. And then you're like, wow, that's crazy. And they're like, only another 3.5 more days.
So you decided you were not going to fly anymore.
Wasn't flying.
And this opportunity with Katy Perry came about.
So basically, I drive to LA. My friends are like, come to the studio. And I was like, I'm so tired. We start making like 2 little things in the lounge of the studio, not even the real studio. The 2 things we started were California Girls and Teenage Dream. The first day I got there.
Oh, snap.
The first day.
2 of the biggest hits on the album. You have described a point in your life, early on in your career, as MySpace hustling.
Yeah,
Right?
I did that.
With sleeping on couches and pretending to be Jay-Z's lawyer.
Yeah, wow, you guys dug deep.
Does Jay-Z know this? Because you've certainly met Jay at this point.
I don't know if I ever told him, but he's like the coolest guy in the world. So
Yeah.
I'd be like, he would make some great joke. He like makes, have you ever met him?
Yes.
He literally makes you feel like the president. He met my mom like one time years before. I mean, we had spent a lot of time with each other. 5, 6 years later, I'm at dinner and he walks in, doesn't even say hi to me, goes to my mom and goes, Mama, and gives my mom the biggest hug.
Is that right?
And I was like, you're
real one.
Yeah, you're special.
Yeah.
That's special.
And also, like, how special is that for your mom? Because she's like, Jay-Z!
Yeah, my mom's like, wow. My mom's like TMZ. My mom's like everything. Not
TMZ.
We're anywhere. My mom's like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, no, I don't, because I don't know anyone. And my mom's like, what do you mean? She's like,
You
that's
don't know
so-and-so from the Vanderpumps. And I'm like, what's the Vanderpumps?
I want that daily.
You've had major collaborations with Selena. You were friends and collaborators first. What led you to each other? How did you first meet? I'm very curious about this.
In real life, we actually met. Neither one of us even knew. Apparently, we had a meeting when we were both so young, and neither one of us
I don't
remembered.
even remember it.
She was like,
There's like a photo of it somewhere.
her mom told, the first time I ever went out to dinner with her mother, she told me, she was like, we had a meeting one time. And I was like, we did? And then she was like, yeah. And she still remembered exactly where it was. And I was like, wow. And we worked on a bunch of stuff. And then, you know, it's just like everything else in my life. I had no idea. And then one day I woke up and I was like, whoa, this is the girl I love. She's right next to me. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
is that how it happened?
Yeah, like I'm saying, you start dating, everything just moves like quickly, and it's just like, you know, we've been friends for a long time. And she's just great. She's the greatest.
She is one of the sweetest people. I've had the pleasure of interviewing her a number of times.
Yeah,
she is incredibly sweet. I am curious though, is there, like, and I've had this opportunity to ask other people who have worked together and then moved into other ways of relating to one another, you know, in a relationship. What was there a moment? Was there a thing or like a situation you remember you looked and you were like, uh-oh, this is different for me than it was before. I feel differently than I did before. This isn't a friend feeling, this is more.
I can't remember. It just happened. So like she's a very real person. So we just like, literally one day we were hanging out and then I was like, oh, wow, I think this is a date. And then it was just like,
seriously?
That was just kind of how it happened. And then we just like, and then we've kind of been inseparable ever since.
I love it.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best.
Easier to work with in the kitchen or in the studio?
We're the same person. Like, it's just, she's my other half. Like, it's just like, she's an amazing cook.
Out of everything I've done in my career, it's like this is the most outstanding thing I've done.
Selena plus Chef.
Yes.
Like, is a show. I went the episode with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
She'd been working at getting Gordon on the show for a while. And
she's unbreakable.
Like, the fact that I would have been in tears.
Oh my God. He's DM'd me before, and like, when he DM'd me, my phone flew out of my hand. Cause I don't really I don't get starstruck about anyone, but like a chef can make me crumble.
Bruh. This has been incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Truly.